Welcome to the channel. Camaro is in the shop. That is a good sign. And you may be wondering, why is this in the shop and why is the Cobalt still on blocks? Logical explanation for that, and that is because it is cold as balls outside, and I'm not going to be out there working on that in these kind of conditions. I do have some stuff that needs to be done to the motor yet, and I can get on that anytime. Just need to order some parts and whatnot, so I can get on that anytime. Just got to get the parts. So I can do that in the shed over there in the heat. That's not a huge deal. But as far as putting the motor back in, as far as all that stuff goes, I kind of don't really want to be doing that in the dead of winter. And it's not even the dead of winter yet, but today is really windy and everything. So today is going to be the video on the first mods on the Camaro. And it's just going to kind of be some little stuff, but it's going to be some cosmetic things that I think is really going to pull this car together. And I also have some more parts coming for the car that is a pretty big change to it. So I'm really excited for that. So definitely stay tuned for that video. Check out some of the past videos. I know there hasn't been any videos on the Camaro yet, but there's definitely some coming, and there's more to come for this for sure. I have a lot of plans for this, so definitely stay tuned for that. So we'll jump right into it here, discussing the first mods that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing 2 different mods today. And the first mod is on the Camaro Badges here. I'm going to be doing what I did on the Ram. If you watched that video, if you did not, I will try and figure out which video that is and put it in the description. It's pretty much it, because none of the ones back here need anything. But you have Camaro listed on both sides of the car. So what I'm going to be doing is carbon fibering those today. And as I was saying, I did a video of that on the truck where I carbon fiber the badges. And it turned out really well. Turned out really nice, looked good. And then ended up debadging the truck all around. So not saying I'm not going to debadge this at some point, but I am just going to give it a little bit of a, it's kind of like the chrome on the silver. There's not really an accent to it, so by me adding that carbon fiber, it's going to kind of add a little bit of a black accent there, and I think it'll really kind of pop it a little bit. So if you guys have been watching the channel, you know all about my silver vehicles, and I add black to it. It really makes it pop. It's just kind of personal preference, which is why I think I'm going to leave the stripes, just because it adds character to it. Rather than just having a straight silver hood, and especially same with back in the back. So it just kind of makes it pop, adds a little bit of an accent to it, and I really like it. So that is the first thing we're gonna be doing. Gonna do both sides. The second thing, you can clearly see that these windows are black. They are tinted pretty hard, which is awesome. I'm all about tint, and there you can get a really good look if you look at the door over there. And as far as the windshield, there's nothing done with the windshield. So what I'm gonna be doing to the windshield is, of course, a window drop. And I'm not exactly sure where I wanna go down to yet. The AS1 mark is right there. Not sure if that's gonna be far enough down for me. These Camaros have a smaller windshield and a smaller visibility area as far as seeing out. So not sure how far down I'm gonna go, but I do have a big drop down here in the mirror, so I can kind of do whatever I need to do there. So, but first I'm gonna jump on getting the Camaro Badges wrapped with the carbon fiber. So we'll get these all cleaned up and make sure. And I'm not gonna be doing the whole outside back edge and around everything. It's just gonna be right on the face, right on the surface. So it's not gonna be like all involved trying to wrap the whole letter. It's just gonna be the surface, and you'll still have the chrome behind it, which I think will make it pop even more. So without further ado, let's do it. Wow, that's weird. It usually finishes the whole thing. Oh, man. Well, either way, we got cam, so that's a plus, I guess. So we have just a few more letters to go. Basically, what I did is you want to clean everything off of the letters, obviously, so your wrap, your vinyl can stick to it and adhere really well. Let's get some light on the subject here. As you can see, it is kind of turning out pretty nice, other than all the dirt on the car. But this one's a little bit more tricky than the truck was, because the truck actually had little indentations. It had an outline in the letters. So this I'm actually having to cut along each letter. There's no indentation to follow along and kind of scratch in the put the vinyl in those little grooves, and you can just cut along the grooves. So that's not the case for this one, so it's a little bit harder, a little bit more time consuming, but it's going smoothly so far. Like I said, just a few more letters, so I'm just gonna keep trimming out everything. So basically what I do is I would trim along the top. Now these are kind of curved in a little bit. You can kind of see them, they're like tapered letters, so you kind of just cut around them straight, give yourself a little excess, and then you want to bend your, or not bend, but like just hold your X-Acto knife a little more even, and then you want to shave the rest of it off without scratching the paint behind it. You don't want to stick it through too far. So I got the rest of these off and cut out, and check out the finished product. And then what you can go ahead and do is you can take your heat gun and you can just kind of gently, very gently, you don't need to get crazy with it, and just kind of heat that up a little bit to make the glue or whatever, the adhesive, stick a little bit better, and just give it that final little cure basically. So both of them are done, and they turned out pretty nice, actually. It's kind of hard to get the good view of it in here. I mean, the camera actually does it a lot of good justice on this one compared to most things, but you can really see the black popping right there. along with the chrome accent on the upper side and everything, because I didn't wrap it completely. I just did a front face basically. So that turned out really nice, and I'm probably going to change my mind in like 2 weeks and want to just debadge it and everything, so all this work will have been nothing and for nothing. So that's usually how it goes with me. And now what I can do is I can move into the car, which it's kind of dirty. It is dirty up on the dash here, so I'm gonna take and clean the entire dash off because I don't want any of that getting stirred up onto the windshield where I go to do my tint. And I have to figure out how far I want my tint down and how far either illegally past that line I want it to go, or if I want to keep it legal, whichever I decide. So I'll get that laid out and see what I come up with as far as that. It's gonna look pretty good, I think, because it's gonna really give it that cockpit kind of look and view to it. So we'll see what happens. Well, unfortunately, the tint that I do have, as you can see, is the edge of it right there, and the edge of the window right there, and nothing there. So unfortunately it's too short and I don't have any more. I have a lot of tint, but nothing that's gonna cover the entire window. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to run and get more tint. So that's a huge bummer, and I probably won't mess with it anymore tonight. I'll probably just do it tomorrow, and I might get the tint tonight, but I probably won't mess with putting it on anymore tonight. But that's a huge bummer, but it'll actually be better. It'll work out good, because then I can install it tomorrow and then get a good video of it as it's on the car after I put it on, get it out in the sunlight and whatnot. So it'll actually work out a lot better that way as far as that goes. So I guess I got to get tint. Yeah. Shit! Got it. And there you have it, window drop complete. It's really hard to see actually because of all this stupid stuff reflecting, but you can kind of see it there. Super clean, turned out really nice, and it looks insanely awesome from inside the car. Seems like it's kind of hard to see the way it's showing up on camera. Get a flashlight out here, but it's really looking good, and it really looks kind of odd on camera, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but there you can kind of get the feel for it. Turned out really nice. Just gotta clean a few things up yet, and then we're gonna be ready to go. As I was saying before the camera decided to die, I went and bought some more carbon fiber wrap. If you watch the video where I wrapped the kind of the window trim on the Ram, where I went along the bottom here and did that, I thought about doing it on the Camaro here. The only issue is if I do the bottom and come back and stop right here, it's gonna look stupid not having this done. I also thought about doing this, but it has a kind of a big curve there, so it might make it a little difficult. So I'm probably just gonna leave that alone for right now. I also thought about doing these up here just to rice it up a little bit, because that's standard nowadays. That's what cool kids do. And probably gonna hold off on that as well. So no ricing going on today. The only ricing that did happen basically was that right there, which that actually looks pretty cool. That turned out really nice, so I'm happy with that. So that's gonna be it, folks, for today's video. Window drop and carbon fiber wrap on the emblems. That's gonna do it. First mods on the Camaro. Almost said Cobalt there, but Camaro, no Cobalt, not today. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any of the notifications when I upload. That's it. Have a good one.